Trump is spending 60 million of your tax dollars on his birthday party, and it is falling apart so badly that even Joe Rogan, his own UFC allies and fighters who said they would take a bullet for him, are publicly saying they want nothing to do with it. I request you to watch this video till the end. I will give my review at the end. So let's just look at this video.
It couldn't have happened to a better person. Only 3 days before Donald Trump's 80th birthday, his planned celebrations are falling apart at the seams as people cancel, as the budget is way over what it was supposed to be, and as people are starting to realize that this is just a grandiose, masturbatory, narcissistic celebration of himself and not actually America's 250th birthday. For example, almost 1 year ago exactly, Donald Trump held a famously awful military parade in which, the wheels were squeaking. There were tanks moving past in a very odd way. Do you guys remember this 1 year ago, Trump's military birthday parade? We cannot be serious. It's like a low budget movie. And honestly, I'm glad they didn't blow a massive budget last year, but I think it was still even near $100 million spent on hosting this parade for Donald Trump's birthday. Remember about 5 years ago when that clip leaked of him saying that he wishes people would rise to attention like they do to Kim Jong-un? That is the exact model that he's trying to replicate. This takes us to today, or at least this month. In about 3 days is Donald Trump's 80th birthday. Coincidentally, a week or two after that is the 250th anniversary of America's founding on July 4th. And Donald Trump is holding a dual celebration that coincides with both his birthday and America 250. But again, it's falling apart. I just want to start with this dual headline right here. Check this out. On June 10th, it was tweeted out, Donald Trump reveals that his birthday wish is world peace. The same account tweets out, within an hour, Donald Trump tells Fox News that he will bomb the shit out of Iran tomorrow night if they don't sign an agreement. I've got a feeling that these two things can't really coexist in the way that Donald Trump wants them to, but it gets even worse. We then learn that Trump is planning to spend $60 million in our taxpayer dollars on his birthday party. This is on top of the $100 billion spent in the Iran war, the tens of billions of dollars that we've collectively paid in gas prices. How about the fact that Donald Trump claimed he was going to cut waste, fraud, and abuse, so he stripped healthcare and Medicare away from tens of millions of Americans, only to then repurpose and reallocate those funds towards his failed birthday celebration. One more time, Trump is planning to spend $60 million in taxpayer dollars on his birthday party, and it is falling apart. There's 2 or 3 different parts of this that are currently splitting at the seams. We've got the UFC build-out on the White House front lawn that we'll go over in just one moment. This UFC build-out is such a bad idea that even Joe Rogan, the UFC guy, said this should not be happening. It's going to be way too hot. There are going to be bugs. The heat is going to be amplified by the lighting above. It's just not a good idea at all. On top of that, there was a America 250 concert that was supposed to be held where every single artist individually dropped out because they were lied to about the intentions of this celebration. We're also learning that people are getting banned from this. So Sean Strickland, for example, an MMA fighter, got banned from attending. Here's the thing, Sean Strickland is an absolute maniac, a lunatic who's genuinely anti-Semitic. He said recently that he understands why Jewish people are hated so much, and he might start walking around with a weird mustache, referencing Hitler.
The United States of America is turning 250 years old, and this is generally a historic milestone, a quarter of a millennium. It deserves a real celebration, something that brought people together and honored the country's history and gave Americans something to feel proud of regardless of which party they support. Instead, what we got is a $60 million taxpayer-funded event that is collapsing before it even happens. Every artist who has booked for the America 250 concert dropped out. Not one or two, every single one. Because when they found out the event was less about celebrating the nation and more about celebrating one man's 80th birthday, they walked away. That's a significant signal. These are performers who make their living by connecting with audiences. They read the room and they read it clearly. Then there is a UFC event on the White House lawn in June in Washington DC, where temperatures regularly hit 100 degrees. Joe Rogan, who is not a Trump critic by any means, who helped Trump reach millions of voters and who knows the UFC world better than almost anyone, sat on camera and said, "This is a bad idea. Too hot. Bugs attracted by the lights, not a controlled environment. No championship fight should even happen outside under those conditions." And here is what's worth paying attention in that moment. Rogan knows UFC. He doesn't fully understand the contradictions in Trump's policies position. But the moment Trump stepped in Rogan's area of expertise, and what just happened that moment Trump tried to apply his usual confident bluffing that something Rogan actually knows, Rogan immediately saw through it. And the pattern is worth noting. The pattern is worth noting. Trump sounds authoritative on many subjects, like to people who don't know those subjects deeply. But the moment someone with real knowledge is a specific area, look at Trump is what Trump's doing. Whether it's a trade, foreign policy, military strategy, or not even planning, the gaps become obvious very quickly. Then there is a fighter who was banned from attending after making jokes about the Epstein files. Everyone knows what is Epstein files. And another fighter, someone who publicly said he would take a bullet for Trump, now openly questioning the administration over Israel, Iran, and those same files. These are not liberal critics. These are people from the Trump's own cultural base, expressing publicly discomfort, and underneath all of the sits the money question. $60 million in taxpayer funds. At the same time that healthcare programs are being cut. At the same time that school lunch programs in multiple states are being reduced. At the same time the working families across the country are being told that the government cannot afford to help them the way it used to. $60 million for a birthday party. For that old man's birthday party that the artists abandoned and that the UFC community questioned. And the fighters are getting banned for making jokes. A leader who genuinely wanted to honor America's 250th birthday would have made it about America. This is what we call make America great again. That's not. That's what about the people. That's what's about the history, about something bigger than themselves. What we are watching instead is a celebration that keeps collapsing under the weight of its own self-centeredness. And the most telling detail of all is this: on the same day Trump said his birthday wish was world peace, he threatened to bomb Iran the following night. Those two things cannot coexist. And those two things that cannot exist, and that contradiction more than anything else tells you everything you need to know about what this celebration was always actually about.